I have traveled the depths of my own mind in search of the perfect camera for the last 5 years, and I've come to the realization that it didn't matter at all. The perfect camera was literally the one I already had, the Panasonic G85 and the Sony X3000 combo. You can't beat it. Can't even top it today. I wish you could. But I was given gifts and I accepted them, and then I compared them to other things, and then I sold them, and then I bought other things, and now we've amassed a castle of cameras, blurry background cameras. What could excite me for the future? A spoiled child who's tasted golden spoon milk. What would excite me that exists today? Let's talk about it. And three hobos have similar questions that we will answer.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
Just a side note before I whine like a baby about gear I don't have, I've replaced the tree with the shelf that was over there. Not for you. I needed to widen my desk. I was losing my mind with the space. I felt cramped in. I was tired of reaching around my computer trying to stick an SD card. So now I have turned my computer to its side. Now that thing is easily accessible. Speakers, when I'm in the standing position, are a little awkward. They're a little tilted, but when it goes back down, they're lined up. That brings me to possible speaker upgrades. The Yamaha HS8, maybe even. Let me know your best studio monitor down below, because these 5-inch woofers are bullshit. And they hiss. I hear a hiss from my JBL 305s. Give me a break. So Sweet Relief has blessed our souls. Everything just fits better. Try moving your room around sometime. It's like, oh, you just find these little life hacks where it's like, oh, everything's just fitting so much better. I don't have to squeeze in between corners and shit. So that brings us to the fact that I'm a spoiled baby. I have too much already. The first guy was like, if you could just choose one camera. Everybody's asked themselves that as we sleep in a dark room for 3 days straight with no food, and we just dive into our mind, what camera would I really need? I was debating. All I need is the Sony ZV-E1. We all know that. That's even overkill, but that's my dream camera. From when I started this whole channel, I was like, man, imagine full frame with autofocus and IBIS and a flippy screen. And it's tinier. They shrunk it down. The slow-mo, like way beyond the needs I ever had. It's the best thing ever. Totally 100% zero reason to own this Canon C70. I was thinking, like, just sell it all. Sell the Nikon. Just go back to the basics. Sony ZV-E1, 18mm Batis, 50mm. Did I say 50mm? I might have. I said it to your mom once. I whispered it into her ear. Those two lenses, that's all you need. And the Voigtlander 35mm for the special tunnel. Like, come on, what are we even doing here? Why do I keep reaching? Sometimes I even prefer the Sony to this Canon. I'm just like, I don't know, like, why do I have this? I could never just shoot on the Canon, because, like, it can't do slow motion street videography. We're not doing anything fun. Can't vlog with it, it's too heavy. It's like, it's very big and heavy. I just like the EF lenses. That's all I wanted to do. Something native to use my EF lenses. Come on, now we should replace it with an R5 II, technically. Then I could do slow motion street videography, get a little 600mm Tony 11 Prime. Could you even believe that? Sell the Nikon, sell everything. Sell it to your mom. So it's funny, I always battle between, like, I should just have a ZV-E1 versus the other mindset, the angel and the demon on the shoulder. And he's just like, what could I buy now? Just sell this and get something else. Every time I sell a piece of gear, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy this. I just saw Zeiss 35mm Tony 2, the Distagon, best lens ever made, manual focus, 3D pop out the yin-yang for Canon mount. I could be doing that right now, but manual focus, hell, why would I do that? 400 dingers, Canadian, that's a good deal. You know, you pounce on a deal when you see that. So let me bring you into my theoretical universe where we sell the Canon C70, just have the ZV-E1, sold the Nikon, no wildlife, anything. So I just have a Sony ZV-E1, and I'm trying to make that work. It's just one camera, that's all you need, and then I'm itching at night and I need to buy something. Here's what would excite me. In today's universe, not much Like, nothing even beats the Sony ZV-E1. There's really no reason, except if you were to push into Fuji medium format. I just missed the deal of the century. I'm angry with myself for not buying it. I saw Fuji GFX 100S for 3,500 Canadian. He wasn't in my city. Don't even know if he would have shipped it to me. That's the only option. But he might have for 40 more dingers. But I didn't message him. He posted it like a month ago, so I was like, no one wants that in your small town, like anybody even works there. Where the only factory is a ketchup factory, probably. So like, I didn't message him, and then he sold it. It's gone. I'll never see it again. I cannot bring myself to spend more than that now. But like, that would have been the dumbest thing I've ever bought. Dirty Photography Club, please tell me down below, is there any hope for a GF lens to have 3D pop? I was looking through, I was like, that 55mm 3.5 might, or 50mm 3.5, there's no ED glass in there. There's potential. Come on. It might have some, but then as you go up to the 1.7s and the 2.8s, they start adding the ED erectile dysfunction glass, and it doesn't make sense. And there's no pop in that whole damn system. But I have seen people use Canon EF lenses. I just don't know if they cover. They're only photographers. Not one of them shoots video. I don't know if my 85 would fit, but like this 50mm 1.2, can you even imagine that on a GFX body? I want to imagine it. So like, we could do that Fringer adapter. They send it to me. I shill too, but a little video. Come on, that's a life you want to live. But no flippy screen, that would hurt. Not one speck of slow-mo in that. The other thing I'm debating, I debated this one hard. Let me breathe for a second. I need breath. Do you like my lights on the outside? Huh? I stretched it out there, falling down in a brook, like a wavering brook. That's not how you say that. So like, medium format, imagine this wildlife setup. You would have to, oh God, it's so overkill and stupid. GFX 100 Mark II, $10,000 right there, Canadian. That you can't get slow-mo unless you get that. That at least has 4K 60 HD 120. That would be a painful downgrade from everything I'm used to. But medium format glory with the 500mm prime and the 1.4 times teleconverter brings it to a 553mm. That's in the ballpark of my favorite focal length for wildlife, 600. And then there's probably some crops. You're doing 8K with a crop, like all kinds of potential. That would be so heavy though. That teleconverter alone was like 400 grams. I was like, that's a lens. What the hell is that? That would be the dumbest thing. I'm trying to sell the Nikon because it's so overkill. Imagine going 10 times more overkill and only filming squirrels. I see nothing ever. I'm the lamest wildlife photographer. I plan on going nowhere too to see better things. I'll go worse places, just side streets, bird feeders and squirrels. I'll do it. $10,000 later. Another thing that might be exciting in the Fuji universe is just downgrading the Nikon system. I just don't know how much worse it would be, but potentially you get the Fuji XS20 with the 500mm prime. The weight of the lens is actually almost identical to my 600mm prime, which is painful because it's Fuji only gives you the weight with without the lens hood or tripod collar. It's like, here's the lens. Like, that's not how I would use it, asshole. But so I weighed my Nikon lens without the tripod foot and the hood. It was like 40 grams heavier than that. I'm talking full frame 6.3 versus your 5.6 APS-C, like Tony 8, 500mm. You're ridiculous. But you would save some weight because the XS20 body is like 490-ish grams, heavier than my ZV-E1, by the way. Let that sink in. Versus my 730 grams of the Z6 III. So you might notice some savings of weight and a more comfortable handle. It's a better tripod foot. And then you would get a right-handed dial. So like 4K 60 to HD 240, one little switch. I think I would enjoy that more. And we all know animals are lured to a Fuji system. They perform, they love it, they're drawn to it. It's like, oh, Fuji's back. Fuji magic? Are you joking? I debate it every day, which brings us to a guy. Very related question to what we just spoke about. Hi, man. Just wondering. I have Fuji XH2S and the 150 to 600. Sorry to hear that. Was tempted to get the 500 mil. Definitely do it. But I'm not sure whether to stay with Fuji or move to Nikon Z8 180 to 600. See, like, that's the boat I'm in right now, only I'm already in where you want to be, almost, with the Z6 III. Not quite the megapixels, you're shot taken, asshole. No video whatsoever. It's a debate. It's a debate. You will definitely see, oh God, you chose the zoom for Nikon. Why not one of the primes? You suck. The 600mm prime, not the 180 to 6. That's so heavy. My God. So is the Fuji lens, though. They're up there. They're probably the same exact weight, actually. Same specs, same weight. The only thing that scares me about that 500mm prime for Fuji is it's flat as hell. I've seen the rendering. It's not popping. I don't know if any telephoto lenses really do pop. Does my Nikon Prime pop? I doubt it, but it had like 4 super ED elements in it or something, the Fuji. I'm like, damn, I don't know, man. That might be such a downgrade. But like, you have a very dark lens right now. You would notice such an increase just going to that Nikon setup. Honestly, like, the only reason I would be downgrading my Z6 III is because it costs so much money. I would feel better buying a cheaper system like Fuji XS20 with that prime would be much cheaper than what I spent. I could sell that used, boom. And it's lighter. It's a downgrade though. I know I'd be getting worse quality except for the odd bit of Fuji magic, but with the red LUTs, you can't beat Nikon. Come on now, we're all shooting video. If it was me, I would highly debate switching. If it's important to you, how important is it? Do you only go getting neighborhood squirrels? Probably not the best purchase decision. Stop withholding food from your family. We're moving on from your life. So while it is fun to focus on the gear and debate things to buy and hunt for deals, it's a very fun process. It's a much better time spent for you and your audience if you focus on what to produce instead. What fun can I make? And that's the direction I want to take personally, but I do have that gas addiction where I'm just like, what can I buy? Oh my God. This whole video is about that. But like, I've made creative stuff. You don't know that more isn't coming. In fact, I got a hilarious comment. Whenever I comment on one of the rumor sites, you remember The Simpsons where the mob would come out and like, kill him, get him, and everybody's holding pitchforks and signs and fire. That's what I get whenever I leave any comment. It's just people thumb it down, attack. Look at this example. Here's one guy said it basically exactly the same thing I said. This 800mm 6.3 from Nikon is really good. I wish, because the Sony's releasing a 400 to 800 zoom. It's going to be heavy as hell. Fantastic probably, but it's like the 200 to 600. It's very heavy. And once you go to a Nikon Prime, it's hard to go back to that heaviness and you get more quality. I basically said the same thing as he did. Just like release an 800mm competitor to that Nikon Prime. I get lynch mobbed. And he's like praised at 9+, and nobody could hate me. The hell is your problem, you bunch of assholes? I left another comment on that 400 to 800 rumor article, and I was just like, once you use a Nikon Prime, it's hard to go back. And I got all poetic with it. I was like, it feels like an ancient relic of a distant world long forgotten, to use that heavy boat. And he was like, much like your channel. That's an opinion. Well, I walked right into that one. Oh, that hurts. Not a lot of people agree with that. You don't know. And then like people lynch mob onto me. He has a channel? I didn't even know that. It used to be good, but now it's indeed ancient with recycled jokes, etc. Listen, you bunch of hobo assholes. I'm doing my best. It's cold. It's a dark winter. I'm afraid. I could say funny things in the future. You don't know. I'm not past my prime. But I really do want to focus on making more. I want a sitcom on this channel and my Vegetable Police channel. I used to make one with Casey and Kent. Some asshole was like, oh, this guy doesn't know anything about filmmaking. I made a sitcom with a Canon G7X. What have you done? Nothing, buddy. But I think it would be fun to make like a full season. Here's 2 ideas I have. Feel free to steal them if you're gonna make it before I do. But like some type of 1 season of a camera executive reality show type of thing where like I'm writing the script and like at the end it's, oh my, all these plot twists and like actually making a little series. Canon arguing with Nikon guy. It could be fun. Or I also want to make fake trailers for movies. Like just like the dumbest ideas you've ever thought of for a movie. This guy only reads books and he's reading while having sex and stuff. And make a little like 2-minute trailer as a short, but it just sounds hard. I don't know that I have the skills. I have the gear, not the skills. I focus too much on the gear. I don't know what I'm doing. All right, we'll leave it off with this last hobo who summarizes the whole journey we've had through this video. If you had to pick a camera for talking head videos for about 600 to 700 Canadian Facebook Marketplace type of stuff in Canada, what would you recommend? Ideally, would like a mic in, good autofocus. Thank you so much. You don't need much, do you? You just need to be special. You need to have some type of brain injury that makes you quirky enough that your audience will enjoy what you do, and then you're looking ZVE 10 Mark 1. You don't have a lens. You did not give me a budget for a lens. That's a bitch. Good luck with your pinhole piece of paper, hold it up. But that with like a Sigma lens, you could do worse. Probably, or the Zeiss at least. That's probably more than the camera itself. We're looking like you don't need a whole heck of a lot. Use your phone, no one cares. But like I care somewhat about the gear, and it's fun to care about it. But like really? You're thinking of something more than a Panasonic G100 Mark half a one? Like you need nothing. For years, I made most of these episodes on the Sony X3000. I just grabbed it, pressed record, it turned itself on. I didn't think about framing or audio. I had the audio. It was right here. How could the audio be bad? It's closer than my mic almost. Not really. You don't need much, and it's almost more fun the worse your gear is. That's the reality. Like you only have this thing, you're 100% focused on what to create. So like this, having the C70, it ruins my life. Just having all these different options, I'm like, what should I film on today? None of it matters. Should be what should I film today, not what should I film on. On backwards spells no. So like that proves itself. Huh? What do you think? So let me know what I should buy next down below, and thank you for the Bitcoin donations put towards gear that I don't need. And I love you so much. Thumbing that up. You subscribing? Nothing's coming. Good. Just gear talk videos. Subscribe for more, man.